Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, whichever suits you best. I'm back again. I think I have almost everything done. The only thing that I really have left to do, at least I think, is the pre-made ships, which that shouldn't take too long. And I'm going to be working on those tomorrow, but I'm pretty sure I've got the lighting and the decorations and everything done for all of my halves. I don't need any of that junk. Let's just go ahead and load my game here. I'm going to take you on the journey to see if I've got everything done or not. Whenever it loads. Alright. Let's see where we're at.
Anything I can help you with? Sure, have at it.
So first things first, let's go ahead and get rid of that cockpit because I know that I'm not going to be using that. Well, perfect. We're already on the shield tab, so I can go ahead and show you. So you've seen my platform shields, and you've also seen my tier or my Class C shield. Well, now I have a Class A, a Class B, and a Class C shield. The A and Bs are basically just smaller versions of the Class C. Excuse me. But so that's number one thing. I've also got my Class A and B reactors, shielded reactors, and then I also have my Class C shielded reactor. Oh, and then I also have grav drives, Class A, B, and C. Here's my Class A, here's my Class B, and there's my Class C. We also now have Class A, B, and C engines. So Class A engines, they are, there's two different sides. There's the starboard and port. Here's my port engine, and then there's my starboard engine. And you may notice, if you've used any of my structural armor pieces before, that this is attached to, or these engines are attached to a side skirt armor. So I'm just going to go ahead and put one down here just so I can show you how that works. After I attach one of those, then I can use my armor pieces. Yeah, right there. And we can actually attach those together so that it looks like one solid piece along the side of your ship. And both sides obviously work the same way. As far as my Class A engines go, they have slightly more thrust and like engine thrust and everything than a White Dwarf experimental engine, and they're slightly slower. They have a top speed of 175 instead of 180, but they're better at everything else by just a little bit. But I feel like they are a better balanced engine because they give you closer thrust to some of the other higher end Class A engines. But anyways, so moving on to the next engine, the Class B is the same model that my Class C engines used to be. And then now I have a new Class C engine, which looks an awful lot like a HAB, but it actually has little hatches on the back that when you take off, the hatches open and the engine slides out the back, or extends out the back rather, and we're going to go ahead and attach a few of those just so we can kind of show those off a little bit. They are very similar to the old, the stats are going to be the same as what the old Class C engines were, with just slightly more hull value. And then the Class B engines are faster, but obviously less thrust and everything else. They're more in line with the other Class B engines. A high-level Class B engines, mind you, but Class B all the same. So that's the engines. Now we'll go ahead and we'll go into the equipment tab here so we can show off the... Here's my engineering bay attachments. You've got your reactor core, which is not a reactor. It is just a reactor core, and it increases the power generated increases 5, not 25. I've got a cheat balance mod that I use. I say cheat, it's just a balance mod that I use that changes stats for everything, so you can kind of ignore the stats on my game. But it will increase repair rate of all of your systems. So if you get damaged at all, or if you take any EM damage or anything, it will increase the repair rate of your systems, and it will also increase your power generated by 5. Then there's also the shield core, which it will add 100 shield strength, and it'll also increase your shield regenerate by 5%. Then there is the engineering bay grav drive, which increases maneuvering thrust, grav drum thrust, and engine health. And then there is the weapon systems upgrade. The weapon systems upgrade, none of the actual bonuses show up, but effectively what it does is it increases all weapon damage by 2.5%, except for turrets, which it only increases by 1%. But it's effectively just a weapon damage increase, a ship weapon damage increase across the board. The idea behind all of these little expansions is you get it helps you customize your ship a little bit. In fact, we'll go ahead and we'll get, the next thing is going to be HABs anyway, so we'll grab our engineering HAB, and I'll go ahead and I'll attach one here to the ship, and I'll take this weapon HAB here, and you'll see that, there we go, click it into place, and we'll take a look at that here in a little bit. Now let's go ahead and go take a look at some of the other HABs that we've added here. Get down here. So you've seen my alternative 1x1 with the hatch on the top and bottom. I've also gone ahead and made a 1x3, which has a hatch on the top and bottom in the center of it. So it's 3 wide, 1 deep, and then it has a top and bottom hatch in the middle part. And then it also has doors all the way around. We'll go ahead and we'll add one of those too. And then you've all seen my glass crosshab. Well, now I have 3 other variants of the crosshab. One is a solid 4-way crosshab. That's what that looks like, and we'll go ahead and we'll attach one of them up here too. Why not? And then we also have a side-to-side crosshab, and then we also have a fore-to-aft crosshab. And they work just like the vanilla crosshabs. They're just my versions of it, pretty much. And then obviously I've got the 2 4-way crosshabs that vanilla doesn't offer. And then I also have ramps. We'll go ahead and we'll put a few of these on here. And I have ramps that go in all directions. And we'll go ahead and we'll just put a bunch of them on my ship. So that's been added, and these are all going to be in version 3, which I'm hoping to have out here within the next 48 hours. And then last but not least, and probably the thing most people have been waiting for, is, well, if I can find it. Oh, actually, you know what? It's not even last but not least. So we'll get to the cockpit here in a second. I also added new slim dockers, which have these tails attached to them. I just wanted mine to look a little different. Now those tails are attached to the doors, so as the doors open, the tail splits down the middle and slides to either side. So, not that probably not people actually care that much about that, but it also has top and bottom options. So that's also going to be in version 3. And then, now let's go back to cockpits. I got all 3 of my cockpits into the game. So here's the center option. You can see the attach points on the back there. It also has 3 equipment attach points on the bottom and 1 on the top. You can tell because they're the square attach points. And then there's also the ramp down version, which has the same equipment attach points, but you'll notice it only has the 3 rear attach points besides the doors. And then we also have the ramp up version. Same idea. Really, as the ramp down version, it's just this one's designed to allow you to kind of underhang your cockpit a little. So basically, I can do stuff like this. Oop. Right. Oh, almost had it. Right there. Now this does cause a little bit of clipping between those ramps, but we're gonna go ahead and do it anyway, just because I kind of wanted to show what it looks like with the underhang, or the idea behind it. It lets your cockpit hang down much lower. Anyways, so there's that. And all of the cockpit's interiors are pretty much the same, so which one I show you really doesn't matter. So we're just going to go ahead and save that. We'll exit. We're going to go double check and see, make sure that the lighting and everything is good. So anyways, there's the underside of my cockpit there. You can see it's got some underside lighting and everything, some track lighting there. I might need to change the color of that. It kind of looks a little too meh. Anyways, but that's neither here nor there. That doesn't matter. Let's see if we can. There's also headlights on the cockpits. And if you land anywhere where your cockpit is near near anything, you might actually be able to see it. Alright, get up here just to kind of show you that, you know, collision and everything is working. Now, you know, I'll be honest with you, I don't know if collision is working on these. I haven't. Oh yeah, good. Everything's working. Alright, good. Alright, let's go ahead and get down here and get inside so we can take a look at the interiors. We're just going to go ahead and go straight to the cockpit. And actually, we're going to take off first so you can see the engines and what they look like. Oh, actually, you know what, before we do that, let's exit, actually. Just so I can show you these engines real quick. And do this the quick and easy way. Because I can't fit underneath this ship right now. Oh, I can't take my camera all the way back there. Alright, I guess I will have to run around. Alright, just hop on over here. So that's what the rear of them looks like when they are closed. Some weird flickering lights there. That's alright though. That's just an engine issue. Probably have too many lights on my ship. It's either an engine issue or an NVIDIA, like, G-Sync issue or something, I don't know. Not worried about it. Let's go ahead and get inside here and take off so we can see what these engines do. And make sure that they actually work properly. I mean, I think I've done enough animated things that I know what I'm doing. We'll see. Yes, good, they did. They came out. Getting a lot of glare. Alright. Actually, we'll go ahead and do the camera. Oh, actually, let's get some power in there. That way we can take a better look at these. So you can actually see that not only do the bay doors open, but the engines actually slide out. And they are very, very similar, like I said, to the old engines. They just now have a housing to give them a little bit more hull value and make them, I don't know, I just think it's kind of cool having engines that close up like that. So there's that. Alright. So now we can go ahead and exit out of our seat and take a look inside this ship. So this is the cockpit. This is the top floor of the cockpit anyway, and you can see you've got your co-pilot seats. This is actually the seat for your communications officer, and then your actual co-pilot. And yes, I purposely did not put railings around all of these because I wanted you to be able, if you wanted to get down quickly, you can just jump down. I mean, it's just that simple. Oops. Well, unless of course I get myself stuck, but that's okay. And then here's all of the systems, or ship systems seating. And you've got monitors along the back wall, along with a couple of bathrooms in this large cockpit. And you also have a navigation table here. There are a ton of animations that can play out in this cockpit if you've got a bunch of followers. And then getting back up here, there's obviously a couple more systems up here that do display various things. You've got your captain's locker, your decorate panel, your armillary, and your cargo hold. Take the ramps up. You can see that little bit of clipping there with that other ramp, but that's just because I kind of set it up that way. But then you can come back out here, you can see what these ramps look like. I thought they turned out pretty good. And this is another ramp. Also come on over here. Where is it? So this is... trying to remember which... oh, okay. I think this is how I'm going to get to my We got all these crosshabs. You can see this hatch here in this 1x3. Hatch on the top and the bottom. You've got nice big windows. And we can also go into the engineering hab from here. And this is our engineering hab. It's fairly large. I think I've got the decorations looking pretty decent. And then you have the center room here where you can see my little weapon display platform that I've put in here. And that was that engineering mod that you can add. Now I have purposefully disabled clipping on all of the mods in here, and that's just so that I could still keep the seating in that your crew can use. Your crew can sit in them. There are animation files and that for them. But I've purposefully disabled all collision on the mods just so that it wouldn't cause any problems with people walking through here. And unfortunately, there's no way for me to include the mods in the nav mesh. So because of that, the nav mesh wants to take a crew through there anyway. And so because of that, I was like, well, you know what? I'll just make it so that these don't actually... They can at least appear here, but they won't actually stop you from moving, type of thing. Well, at least they aren't supposed to. And now I'm stuck. How the heck did I get stuck? You know what? Here, we'll just sit down there and then we'll leave. Because I should come out the right-hand side. Or maybe not. What? Hold on. What the? Why am I getting out to the... Well, that is... Okay, I'll have to fix that. I'm not exactly sure how that thing has collision. It's not supposed to. But that's alright. I'll fix it. And here's what we'll do is we're just gonna cheat. And get through it for now. That's alright. That's a minor thing. I'm sure that it's probably like one mesh in there that I forgot to take the collision off of. But yeah, the idea is to not have collision on any of those things, so that even though I know it could be somewhat unimmersive if you can walk through them, it also is a way for me to guarantee that you don't have like NPCs getting stuck on any of the stuff that gets put in here. There's also animation files in here for like NPCs to stand and look at this, if it's what you put in here. If you don't put it in here, then there's various other animation files for each of the others. Like the grav drive has a couple of like kneeling repair sequences with like an impact wrench, so on and so forth. Just various things. But yep, that's pretty much it. And that's most of what's coming in version 3. And the only other thing that I have left to really do, I think the lighting has turned out pretty good in most of these. At least so far from what I can tell. Might be a little bit dark in my crosshabs, but it's not terrible. I mean, I can still see everything alright. I think it's better in I think my cockpit turned out with really good lighting. I was a little bit worried about it too, but yeah, I think it turned out pretty good. And yeah, so coming in the next 48 hours, I'm gonna work tomorrow on trying to get some pre-made ships in. I worked a little bit on it today, and I had a couple of issues with the construction kit crashing, so I decided to take a break for the rest of today, and I'll work on it tomorrow. But I don't think it'll take me too long once I get one done. Like, I mean, I only plan on having 3 ships to start with, set up for sale, and if I can get them into the leveled lists, if I can figure that out, I will try and get them also into like pirate leveled lists so you can fight So you can actually end up fighting enemy ships, so that's super awesome. I wonder if I can actually make it to one of these other ships TCLing over here, or if it'll just take forever. Probably will take forever. Yeah. So, anyways, I'm not gonna waste your time with me trying to get over here to another ship that's frozen in space. But I hope you guys are looking forward to it, and I should have it out here within the next 48 hours. Have a great one. We'll see you in the next one.